the World Cup has already started, and then a whole lot of Africans were having different names. I've seen people bear Alejandro, I've seen people bear Garcia, people change their name to Garcia. Somebody even said it's it's Chicarito and the rest of that. Now let's go to the actual game. South Africa faced off against Mexico yesterday. And to be honest, I was a bit disappointed with the result. I think Nigeria did not do themselves any favor by allowing South Africa to actually top that particular group and end up, qualifying for the World Cup. Because, I mean, Hugo Bruce went to the World Cup with 11 defenders. And apart from the fact that they broke a record in that particular match, South Africa did not play well. But let me take your take on this particular game. I will start with Solomon. Solomon, what do you make of the performance of South Africa in that particular game yesterday?
I was disappointed. I think that, and I was disappointed based off their performance in the qualifiers, right? I think I followed the qualifiers to a large extent, and the fact that there were many more home-based players in South Africa, they had some sort of synchronization, they had some sort of unity. They played so well. And if you ask me, based on the qualifiers, based on the way we, Nigeria, played in the qualifiers, apart from when Eric Chell came in, or even when Eric Chell came on, I think South Africa deserved to be in the World Cup, right? However, last night, I was disappointed. They had a 5-3-2 formation. They did not make use of their flanks. They did not make their flanks. They were trying to come in through the middle with La Foster and I think his name is Reynas up front. And La Foster could not affect or impact the game at all. Mokoena got a yellow card from the first half. And it was still much more important to that match than La Foster up front. La Foster did not even trouble the defense at all. It was just a very, very poor outing from South Africa yesterday. It was a very, very poor outing. They tried playing out from back. It led to the first goal. Right. Okay, you've seen that the way we're playing out from the back, maybe we do not understand it fully yet. Let's change the style of play. No, they still played out from the back and even almost led to another goal from playing out from back. Right? Ronwe Williams, obviously, we know that he's a phenomenal goalkeeper. He's a very, very good shot stopper. But there was nothing he could do. South Africa came into that match as underdogs. Well, we can say rightly so because of the host nation being Mexico, their fans and all of that. But it is okay that you came into a match as underdogs. Why exactly did you continue to play throughout in that manner? They could not even string passes together. And look at the red cards again. It's completely unnecessary. That came on. You have not played up to 30 minutes. You collected this red card in such fashion. It's terrible. It was just an appalling performance from South Africa, to be honest. Because again, as I said, based on the quality of players that they have from the South African League and the way that they coordinated themselves in the qualifiers, I would expect that even if you don't win against Mexico, even if you do not win, at least put out a good performance. Do something good. The one that got me so angry was when Mexico got the red card. You had the free kick, a set piece in such a dangerous position. Look at the way they played that free kick. I was dazed. The guy just passed the ball to him. I was angry. I'm like, what? You had about 4 minutes left on the clock. Imagine if you capitalized on that and you scored. Maybe, just maybe, you can even get the second goal. Maybe, just maybe. And all you did was to, it was just terrible. It was just a very, very terrible performance from South Africa. And again, it just makes you wonder why Nigeria did not qualify. You're just angry at the fact that, oh my God, Nigeria could have been in this place. We could have been the better side. It's not as if we to reach there too. But at least it was just a very, very terrible performance from South Africa today. I was not impressed at all. And now, Sitole, Tembatwani, red cards. That's the end of their tournament. That is the end of their tournament. With what South Korea and Z Republic played in the middle of the night? They should forget it. They should forget it.
Temiloluwa, what do you make of this particular game? I mean, South Africa, they were disappointing. I had an issue with the fact that the coach decided to go with 11 defenders. However, they were battling against two things. They were battling against the high altitude. They were battling against the coach going forward in terms of his own strategy, in terms of how to win games. Because I mean, you will not go with 11 defenders if you don't plan to defend, absorb pressure, and hit on the counter. But I mean, how do you want to defend when you are trying to play out from the back and you are conceding goals in 9 minutes? That's number one. Number two, even the Mexicans themselves, I don't think they were that clinical, because if they were clinical, they would have been able to dispatch the South Africans 4-5-0. But what do you make of that particular game? And do you think South Africa have it in them to be able to make it to the next round?
Say we are blaming home advantage. We can say, bro, South Africa didn't go there to play anything. I think they played with a 5 at the back. So playing with a 5 at the back tells the opponent what you came to do. You understand? Your setup tells the opponent what you came to do. You understand? So playing 5 at the back, that's the reason why their wing was not effective. Because even their wing back is not going front. He's playing like a fullback. You understand? So it's just very disastrous. Fantastic game of football in the sense that there were 3 red cards. I don't think I've watched a World Cup where there are 3 red cards. And but then when you look at it again, people say they wish Nigeria was there. To be honest with you, I'm happy Nigeria is not in the World Cup. You understand?
Why?
For reasons known to us, because of what we are going through as a nation. So I'm happy Nigeria is not in the World Cup. You understand?
Well, that's true.
But then South Africa, if you look at, if Solomon said something about looking at how they qualified, who did they meet during the qualifiers? Let's be honest with ourselves. You can't compare the category of people that the class of people that they met in qualifiers to you. So they met Nigeria. So they met Nigeria and the likes. So South Africa do well. And to be honest, I was surprised by the outcome. Because I was expecting more from Mexico. The fact that was hitting the bar, doing that was more for them. South Africa didn't like a team that will win. The only way they participate, let's just go. So when a team has the impression of let's go, they will bet all throughout the tournament. You understand? So up next is South Korea. If you cannot beat Mexico, I don't think you beat South Korea. From the way everyone plays, somebody was saying it's about the if I look at who Mexico lined, you understand? They used the guy that scored in Saudi League, has no goals and Ronaldo Pro League. He said they have the rise of João Neves. I said it's not about the setup. You understand? It's about the setup. So Nigeria also got played. Portugal played with the team that started this World Cup and they played one. You understand? Nigeria didn't even their whole team. You understand? It's not about the quality of it, it's about you. I can't even remember when I was able to string 5 complete passes. Like they completed 5 passes that led to Mexico's. I don't think I saw 5 complete passes that led to Mexico. That's to tell you. It is what it is. So I think our hopes have shifted from. Our hope was. Let me be sarcastic in this. Our hope was never really on South Africa, you know, to progress as an African in the World Cup. And so I hope is Senegal, Morocco, them, you know, because they are established. But South Africa, that they will go to their dream. Going to the World Cup, you have 26 players. And now 26, if 11 that if 11 26 are defenders, you send a message to the world what you are going there to do. And even if it to sit back and counter, South Africa didn't do that. There's not even impression they counter. Their own was just let's try to pass the ball and pass it for that didn't work. You understand? Oh yeah, both ball inside the midfield is non-existent. You think just happened. There was nothing they could do. Yes, it was the last man. If you allow that guy through on goal, I even use the experience because
I want South Korea to top that group. I want South Korea to top that group. The way they played against Czech Republic was I was impressed. Highly impressed. Highly impressed. The players could string passes. You know, it felt like they were in sync with one another.
That's true.
Another thing that I said that what's it called now? That South Africa failed to do was that they did not use their flanks. South Korea made good use of their flanks. Their second goal came from a cross. Right?
True.
Even their first goal, beautiful pass, he caught the defender and the keeper, and he scored. It was just a beautiful display from South Korea. And I believe if they put up that same performance against Mexico, not considering the fact that they are playing against the host nations, the crowd will be against us. If they put up such beautiful performance again against Mexico, they are going to walk Mexico, and Mexico, if Mexico tries to win, Mexico would know that indeed they faced a footballing nation. So left to me, based on what has happened yesterday into the middle of the night, obviously Mexico and South Korea should easily qualify from that group.
So you don't expect a best of. You know, there are other teams that you'll be expecting a best of from. Do you think a best of will come from that particular group?
If Czech Republic are able to get a very good result against South Africa, if Czech Republic are able to get a good result against South Africa, based on what they played towards the end of the match, they came with a game plan, and the game plan was to defend. And they could defend because, as I said, as I was talking to Mr. Timmy, they had tall players, or they have tall players. So aerial threat was not a problem for them. They scored, but it was counted as offside. Thomas Tuchel scored, but it was counted as offside. So that means that up front, they can also be clinical up front. They can also be a threat up front. So if they are able to get a result, and by a result I mean a win against South Africa, then you know that their last match against Mexico will be a do or die affair, and at least a draw would help them to at least maybe cement a third place best loser place for the next round, because 8 teams I think are going to qualify for the next round. So it just tells you that this is quite open. And yes, if Czech Republic are able to get a result against South Africa, I see them progressing as well.